Now I want to tell you today about something really special. I'm on Hope Avenue, which as you know is Tina's hospital just in the background, and this is where we save a lot of very sick dogs. But today I think is maybe the greatest day in my life. We have just finished sterilising all the dogs in Koh Samui. Well, we've actually done about 90 to 95%, but I'm going to tell you what that means for the dogs, how many we've saved. I'm also going to tell you how much it cost, which is an awful lot of money, and how we've done it. We're going to go and meet some of the street dogs that we've sterilised and explain why I think this is just the most incredible day ever for the street dogs of Koh Samui. I've been attacked! How much this all cost. So you're gonna have to close your ears, little Daisy and Bouncy. Imagine one day if we could just save every dog down in that valley, and I'm very happy to say that we're now in that place. Look at you all. Now I've come up here to the top of a little hill or a mountain in Koh Samui overlooking a valley. It's a very special place for me because on that bike about 2.5 years ago I was coming home from football and I decided to feed the first couple of street dogs up here, and it was a notorious place for dumping puppies and dogs in need. But if you look out behind me, what you'll see is a valley, and I remember feeding those first dogs and I naively thought that my job to save the dogs of Koh Samui or to help the dog project in whatever way I could just involved feeding them and maybe eventually taking them to the vets and getting them a bit of help. How wrong I was. What I really needed to do was sterilise the dogs, which is neutering or spaying. And the reason I've come up here to do this video is because we've now sterilised 90 to 95% of the dogs. 3,800 dogs on this island have been done. But I remember visualising, looking out in that valley, and I remember thinking, one day we'll fix every single dog that is down in that valley and across the island. And you know what? We're there today. Now, one thing that would help us massively actually to sterilise the next batch of dogs and grow this even faster and quicker and spread across the world is a subscribe. A simple subscribe on this video, or a like or a comment, whatever it is you want to do. Any engagement or sharing it, whatever, just helps us spread the word. So it would be massively appreciated. Thank you very much. Now I've decided to come out here with one of my favourite pack of dogs to explain to you the importance of sterilising. I'm with Ryan Gosling and Beyonce and some really truly wonderful dogs. Look, they're trying to jump on top of me. I'm going to stand up to give myself a break. I sterilised them all in the early days, and this is what happens when you sterilise dogs. They become healthy. They get medicine from me, they get food, and they can live a healthy life on the streets. They actually live in an abandoned villa up here, which you can see behind me, and they have a really, really good life. But if these dogs weren't sterilised when they were puppies, there would be 50 dogs here now. They're really, really healthy, super well behaved, and they cannot have one puppy between them. So that's what you can see. They all look alike, they're from the same family. But that's the difference in sterilising. If these dogs hadn't been sterilising, absolutely no exaggeration, there would be 50 of them here now. And what happens then is you get diseases, you get cruelty because people don't want 50 dogs around them, you get puppies dying, you get territorial battles between the dogs. But this area now, I've been attacked. These dogs will live here as long as humans don't interfere with them. They'll live a happy life here, and that's what it's like all across the island now for 90 to 95% is we have happy dogs that are sterilised, and as their health issues arise or as their little traffic accidents or whatever it is that happens, we can help them out medically. But new puppies, none coming from this area, which is an absolute godsend. Now the big question is, how do we stay on top of which dogs have and have not been sterilised? Well, it's a simple process. It's actually not simple, it's actually very hard. But we have a few mechanisms that everybody uses. Tattoos in the ear is one simple way to keep track, and then other people put a little nick in the ear. But we can follow up every single dog. We've got maps and databases where we track around the island who has and hasn't been sterilised. There's little Rose behind me, who is eating a part of my camera, actually, the camera case. I'm going to have to grab that back off her. But she is one of the most recent dogs we sterilised with Soy Dog, and it changes her life forever. She's now 6 months old. She's very happy out here in the jungle. If we hadn't sterilised her, Once she got to about 7, 8, 9 months, she would be having her first litter of puppies. It's that simple. 6 puppies she would be looking after, even though she was a puppy herself. So it changes the game. Sterilising is the way forward. Come on, Bubba! Come on, Bouncy! Oh, so healthy, so healthy. Let me see your ear. Look, there's your lovely tattoo. Everybody here has been sterilised. That's why you're so healthy looking, isn't it? The hardest thing is people online and people, even in the real world here, everybody will say to me, why don't you get that dog adopted? Why can't you save this dog? People will often say, oh my God, you've only got 15, 20 dogs at Happy Doggo Land. You should have more. You're not saving enough. You've got loads of followers. You should be doing more. That's fine, but my approach is to sterilise dogs. That is the one thing that changes the game. Look at those 3. Off they go. Oh, they're gone for a little play. I might be wrong in the way I'm doing this. Maybe I should just be saving a few dogs, but I just want to try and do it in a different way where we save the street dogs of the world. It's a huge ambition, but saying no to dogs is my biggest challenge because I love them. But you just have to say no, because most important is sterilising. That's why there will not be 6,000, 7,000 dogs suffering, new puppies everywhere. You're only going to have healthy dogs that are in a healthy climate with medicines and food, like Bubba, Daisy, Colgate and Bouncy. Look at you 2 healthy dogs with your waggy tails. Incredible scenes. One thing that I promised at the start of the video that I tell you is how much this all cost. You're going to have to close your ears, little Daisy and Bouncy, because the total, believe it or not, to sterilise 3,800 dogs, build the sort of team and infrastructure and everything that we need to do, partnerships, it's well over $170,000. That's how much it's cost to do one island, so you can see the challenge we're talking about by doing the rest of the world. But $170,000 to change the life of, you know, thousands, if not tens of thousands of dogs in the future. That's got to be worth every penny, I think. Now, why is sterilising so important? I'm sitting recording this part of the video in one of my favourite places in the world. It should be a sad place, but it's where myself and Tina spent the last afternoon of her life when she was dying. And her last few hours, I get emotional even thinking about it, but it's where I live. It's kind of overlooking another valley. We sat in a hammock together, and Tina had been used her whole life for breeding. And she was just another example. She would have gone through probably 6 or 7 litters of puppies that were sold. So by sterilising dogs, they don't have to go through that. But it's not just that, it's the suffering that I see on the streets on a daily basis. Any of the dogs that we've had, from McMuffin to Hope to Hank, who's just behind the camera, to Lionel Messi recently, Anthony Hopkins, the list goes on and on. Those are dogs that, you know, they're doing their best to survive, but I don't share the bad stuff. Trust me, there's an awful lot worse, especially with puppies getting parvo, puppies getting attacked, puppies getting dumped, moms getting taken from their puppies. It's devastating how bad it is for the dogs. So I like to sit here and think of Tina and those 3,800 dogs that have been sterilised. What's really hard to understand, if you follow online especially, is people love seeing a makeover or a dog rescued or a puppy rescued, but this is actually helping the dogs that will never be born. Tens of thousands of dogs who will never be born into suffering and will never have miserable lives, because that's what a lot of the street dogs suffer on a daily basis. So this is preventative, what we're doing, and it's game changing, and I love it, and a lot of it is driven by Tina, and sitting in this spot thinking about her just makes me very content. Now, the one thing about sterilising is you can't do it all on your own. Just like I can't live my life on my own, like most people can't function without partners. Very lucky we have 2 great partners, Rob's Dogs here on the island and Soy Dog, who have helped us clean out Koh Samui. But without them, without the dog catchers, without the people donating, without the vets doing the operations, people sharing videos, Ploy, who helps us with sterilizations, it's a team effort. Like, everybody will write on this video, they'll be like, oh, you're amazing, Niall, well done, you're fantastic, you're incredible. You know what? I'm 5% of it. Like, I might have the idea to do it, but without all the help online from Lindsay and everybody who helps put this together, it's hundreds of people, really. And you can't do anything on your own. So unbelievable partners and teamwork is what made this a success. So, a massive success. And are we done? Absolutely not. So we've sterilised 3,800 dogs in Koh Samui, But did you know that now every single month between Indonesia, Thailand and Sri Lanka, we are now funding the sterilising of 6,000 dogs. 6,000 dogs every single month. So by the end of the year, it'll be well over 40,000, maybe even close to 50,000. So we're only speeding up. So finishing Koh Samui was great, but I now have the excitement of the challenge of finding the people, money, time, logistics to get it done on a worldwide stage. Koh Samui just proves that it is possible. Now it's time to take things even bigger. I hope this explained a little bit about the mission. I hope you enjoyed the video and you can see the difference we're making. Thank you so much for following. If you could like or subscribe to the video, it makes a massive difference. It means we can do even more of this. So thank you. A wonderful day.